We now move to Leanne Wood, who is the leader of Plaid Cymru. Leanne Wood.
Diolch, Llywydd. I want to ask you about your manifesto for the last election, because you promised then that people would be able to access local GP services in the evenings and on Saturday mornings. Why is it then that not one single surgery offering appointments after 6:30 p.m. in 4 health board areas, and there are only 2 surgeries offering appointments on Saturday mornings across the whole of the country? Can you tell us why you failed to meet this election pledge?
Well, if you look at what we've done with GP surgeries, we know there's been an increase in the number of GP surgeries that are open through their core hours. There's been an increase in the number of GP surgeries who have open beyond 6:30, and an increase in the number of surgeries open on weekends. That is something that we want to see improve in the future. They are independent contractors in the sense that we can't order them to do this, but in fairness to a number of surgeries, they're doing it themselves.
2 surgeries are doing it on Saturday mornings, First Minister. You've clearly failed to meet your pledge. Your manifesto said GP services would be available in evenings and Saturday mornings, and the statistics show that that simply hasn't happened. Now, if getting a daytime appointment is difficult enough, an evening and weekend appointment is nigh on impossible, and all too often people end up giving up trying and go into A&E instead, and we all know about the problems with the waiting times in A&E. Do you accept that doctor shortages and nursing shortages are impacting upon patient care, or are you in denial that this is a problem?
Well, if we look at GPs, 82% of GP practices were open for daily core hours, i.e. 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. That is up from well, you asked the question, if you want to have the answer, up from 60% in 2011. 97% of practices offered appointments at any time between 5 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. on at least 2 weekdays. That's up from 2011. 79% of practices offered appointments at any time between 5 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. every day, again up from 62% in 2011. And the percentage of practices closed for a half day for 1 week has fallen from 19% in 2011 to 4% in 2015. We have seen, of course, an increase in the number of GPs in Wales, the highest ever. We have more nurses than ever. And so it has to be acknowledged that we have been recruiting doctors successfully over the past 5 years.
First Minister, the number of GPs went down last year, and the full-time equivalent numbers show that service levels have not gone up. You failed to recognise the impending crisis. You failed to prevent it. Now, you said earlier on in answer to the leader of the Conservatives that morale is low amongst junior doctors in England. Well, morale is low amongst doctors here in Wales, First Minister. And you've previously talked about protests outside hospitals in England. Well, we've seen here in Wales your own ministers and your own backbenchers protesting in hospitals against your centralisation plans. Now, First Minister, the Royal College of GPs wants another 400 GPs in Wales by 2020. The BMA wants to see an increase in training places for GPs. Several reports on care provided in your hospitals have recommended more doctors and nurses, and there's the report that we've heard about from the Ombudsman out today. Over the past year, your government has announced an increase in training places for nurses and other health professionals, but you've not increased the number of places for doctors. Now, Plaid Cymru has published detailed proposals to bring an extra 1,000 doctors to the Welsh NHS. I hope you've read our plan by now. You hadn't the last time I questioned you about this. Can you tell us, though, why has there been no increase in the number of training places for doctors in Wales?
Well, I'm confused now, because originally the proposal was train 1,000 doctors. Now it's bring 1,000 doctors to Wales. The reality is that if it was so simple, it was as simple as that, then all governments across Europe would be doing it. Doctors come to a health service because they feel that they are able to be innovative, that the hospitals specialise enough, which is something her party have not accepted as something that needs to be done in Welsh hospitals. She talks about GPs. Well, it takes 9 years to train a GP. So what you need to do with GPs is to recruit GPs from other parts of the world.
Order.
It's naive to think that somehow the market for doctors, if I can put it that way, is just entirely in Wales or the UK. It's worldwide. And people will come to Wales from other parts of the world, as they always have done for the past 50 years. The trick is to make sure that the NHS is seen as a system within which the doctors can prosper, something that is well funded, something that offers a service to patients in that country, and one that isn't under threat of privatisation. On all 4 counts, we're able to offer that to doctors who wish to come to Wales.